Let's try to understand the strategy now. So you can refer to this link if you want to know more about what is Iron Condor and how does Iron Condor works. So this strategy that I will be discussing is a slight variation of it. Okay, that is I have added adjustment to it, which increases the odds of getting profitable and it minimizes the losses. Okay, so right now Nifty is around 23,300. Let's say the current price of Nifty is 23,200. Okay, so I've made a price line. Here the Nifty price is 23,200. This is the ATM. Okay, I will say this is at the money option. So what we will do, we will sell 400 point out of the money call and 400 point in the money out of the money put. Okay, so there are two things. One is buy points. So buy points is 400. Okay, so if I take 400, it will be somewhere here. So it will be 23,600. This is call and I'm going to buy this. Or you can say this is hedge. Okay, first I'm going to buy the hedges. So 400 point out of the money call, 400 point out of the money put. This will be 22,800. Okay, then I have sell points, which is 200 points. So 200 point out of the money call, I'm going to sell. So which will be 23,400. This is call and I will sell this. This is put. I'm buying this and I will be selling 200 point out of the money put, that is 23,000. Put, I'm going to sell it. Okay, so I'm going to buy two option contract, I'm going to sell two option contract, and this is how we create an iron condor. Now if you want to take benefit of margin, it's better you buy first and then place the sell leg. Okay, so two variable, one is buy point, one is sell point. Now if you can implement this strategy on any instrument, like if you implement it on Nifty 50, so the strike difference is 50. Okay, so strike difference is 50. You can see if I just click or go to Nifty and if I click on option chain, so here strike difference is 50. So three variables you have to change when if you want to implement it in some other strategy, or if you want to slightly vary the out of the money call and out of the money put. Okay, so how will the payoff chart look like if I go with this? So let me just take the last four digit. So this is 3,200. This is 3,400. This is 3,600. This is 3,000. This is 2,800. So if the market remains in this range, okay, if the market remains in this range, so we will make a profit. We will make a profit out of theta decay. Okay, and if the market, so we have the hedges here, right? So this is the maximum loss that we can gain, and this is how the payoff chart will look like. So you can see if you go to iron condor, this is how the iron condor payoff chart looks like. Okay, so if the market remains in this range, that is, what is the range? Range is around 200 point up, 200 point down, that is 400 points. Okay, if it remains in this 400 point, we are going to make profit. Now, I have added some adjustment. So two things might happen. Either this is the current price. This is the current price. Either current price will go up or it will go down. Okay, two things will happen. Either it will go up or it will go down. So this move also I have made a new variable. Okay, so you can say I've made another variable called move, which is, let's say, 100 points right now. So we will do the adjustment whenever there is a 100-point move. So 100-point move can be upward, it can be downward. Now let's say the price has moved down, okay, from 23,200, or let's take, for simplicity, let's take this graph. From 3,200, it has moved to 3,100. Okay, so now this is our first chart. Okay, this is our you can say first. Okay, now second we have adjustment. We will do first adjustment. So when we will do adjustment, either 3,200 moves to 3,300 or it moves to 3,100. Okay, let's say it has moved to 3,100. So right now we have 3,100 and this is at the money call. at the money. Now we are going to close both of our call leg. Okay. So this leg we will close and this leg we will also close. When we will close? When the market moves downward. Okay. So our put leg will remain as it is. So we have one put leg at 3000 and we have one more put leg which is at 2800. This is sell leg. This is buy leg. This will remain as it is. And we are going to move our call leg by 100 points. Okay. So our call leg, we will move our call leg by 200 points. So previously I had 23,400 call. So I have sold this leg. Now I'm going to sell 23,200 leg. Okay. So here we will have 32,000. This will be sell leg. Call, this is call sell leg. And we will have a 200 point difference, that is 32,000. 34,000. Like 3,400, not 34,000. So this will be my sell leg. This will be my buy leg. Okay. I'll repeat again what I have done. Previously I had 23,400 sell leg and 23,600 buy leg, hedge leg. I've closed both of them and I've opened two more legs. One is at 23,200 and one is at 23,400. Now notice that 23,400 was my sell leg in the previous part and now 23,400 is my buy leg, is my hedge. Okay, so this is the type of adjustment that you will be doing when the market moves downward. Okay, so what I have done, I have actually reduced my profitable range. Previously it was 400. Now how much it is? It is 200. Right? From 400 we had a huge range of 400. Now it has moved to 200. How now iron condor will look? Iron condor will look something like this. Okay, so this is the this is the first adjustment we will do. Now what if the market moves down more? Okay, let's say there is a 100-point move in the downward direction and my 3,100 has moved to 3,000. That is, Nifty has moved from, so initially it was at 23,200. Now currently it is at 23,100. Let's say it has moved to 2,300. Sorry, 23,000, not 100. My bad, 23,000. So what is our new axis? So this is 23,000. Okay, our put leg will remain as it is. Okay, so here we have a hedge at 23,000. Wait. 23,000, 22,800. Okay. So here we have 22,800. This is put hedge. And here we have our put sell. Okay. And now market has moved to 23,000. So what I'll do, I'm going to close both my both of my call legs. So this I will close, this also I will close. Okay. And I'm going to open a new call leg at the money. So we have at the money at 23,000. So I'm going to sell a call leg at the same price level as put leg. So whatever at whatever point my put leg was, that is 23,000, my call leg also I'm going to sell at the same point. And I will change my hedge from, so see what I have done, from 23,200 I've moved it to 23,000, and this 23,400 I've moved it to 23,200. So this is 23,200. So this is what? This is my call hedge. So these are the four legs. Now what I have done, I have actually changed my iron condor to iron butterfly. Okay. So now how the payoff will look like? This is how the payoff will look like. You can search about this. What is iron butterfly? Now let's go through the theory of our strategy. So this is the theory. Iron condor with adjustment. Nifty 50 index we will do. So first we will get the at the money price. Let's say the at the money price is 23,200. Then we are going to buy 400 point out of the money call and put for hedge. So I'm going to buy 22,800 uh, put and 23,600 call. So first I'm going to buy the hedges. Then I'm going to sell 200 point out of the money call and put. So I'm going to sell 23,000 and 23,400. You can see the same thing I have mentioned here. If you go, so I'm selling 23,600. See, 20,600 call I'm selling, 22,800 put I'm selling, then 23,000 put I'm selling. Sorry, this is hedge. 23,000 put I'm selling and 23,400 I'm selling again. So these are the sell leg and these are my hedge leg. Now, if the spot moves by 100 point, we will make the adjustment. So let's say the spot has moved from 23,200 to 23,100. So what adjustment we'll do? We'll book the profit. Now remember, our call leg would have made some profit. Our put leg is making the loss. So I'm going to book the profit by closing the leg. I'm going to close 23,600 call and 23,400 call leg. And I'm going to sell 100 point out of the money call with the hedge. So now my new position will be 23,200 call. This will be the sell leg and the hedge leg will be 23,400 call. Right. So you can see in my second adjustment, I have 23,200. So here you can see 20,200 and 20,400 call, 20,400 call. This is my hedge. This is my sell leg. Now, let's say if the spot moves by 100 point again. So we started with 23,200. It moved to 23,100. Now it has moved to 23,000. Okay. So we will again book the profit. We will close our both call and put leg. And I'm going to open a new position of 23,000 call leg and 23,200 hedge. Okay. So what I have done, I have actually converted my iron condor to iron butterfly. Now, if nothing happens, we will wait till 15:15 and we will close all of our position. So if the market remains in the range and if nothing happens till 15:15, so we are going to make some money out of theta decay. If something extreme happens, then I'm going to adjust. If extreme thing happens, like if the Nifty moves by 300, 400 point, then also I'll close my iron condor. So this is what the strategy is all about. Now let's move to the code. First, I'm going to show you how to use the code and then I'm going to explain you the code. Okay, so let's go one by one. So first we will, okay, now before that, I want to show you how much margin will be required to place the trade. So I have made a file called margin.py. You can watch my previous video to understand this. So I have created 4 legs here. One is call option, put option. One is call option to put option to. So these are my hedges. Okay, 23,000, you can see here, 23,600 call, 22,800 put. So both of them I'm going to buy and these two leg I'm going to sell. So this is 23,400 call, 23,000 put. Okay, so this function I've already explained in my previous video. I'll not explain it right now. I will just run the code and show you how much margin will be required if you want to place an order for all the 4 contract. So span margin will be 16,000, exposure margin will be 7,000 and overall total margin required will be 93,000. So you can say around 1 lakh rupees is required if you want to place an iron condor in Nifty 50. Okay, provided that right now the quantity is 75. If you sell a individual contract, like if you sell individual call leg, it will cost you around 2 lakh. This is like selling a call leg. This is like selling a put leg. Around 4 lakh, 2 lakh will be required to sell a single call leg or a put leg. But when you place an iron condor, the margin required is quite less. You only need 1 lakh rupees. Okay. So now I have created a new file here. Okay. First step is getting the environment ready. So let's create a virtual environment. I'll just click on view, command palette, virtual environment, create a virtual environment. I'm using 3.12.8 for this code. You can use any version. It's fine. So first you have to install the Python. I'm not explaining you how to install Python and all. You can install it by yourself. After creating a virtual environment, you have to install 3 libraries, like 2 libraries you have to install. If you see some error, you might have to install the 3rd library. So let's quickly install the libraries. So first I'll install this. This will install the Fires API version 3 library. It will take some time. Then we will install Pandas library. So this is the entire code. Okay, I'll just copy the entire code and I will just paste it here. Okay, I'm going to explain you the entire code, but before explaining you the code, I want to explain you how to use the code, because that is also important. Okay, so first you will be installing all the libraries. Once you have installed the libraries, you have to add your credential. Like three things are needed. What is your client ID, what is your secret key, and what is your redirect URI. Three things are needed. Okay, and you can name your strategy. Right now I have named my strategy as Iron Condor. So this strategy is on Nifty 50. If you want to implement it on any other instrument, you just need to change the ticker name. You can change this to Bank Nifty, you can change this to Fin Nifty. Accordingly, the strategy will be deployed. Then this is how the ticker is formed in Fires API. Then strike count. What is strike count? Like I will be subscribing for WebSocket tickers. So for that, I need to specify how many tickers real-time data I want. So I want 10 out of the money call, 10 in the money, 10 out of the money call, 10 out of the money put, both call and put. So this will be around 40 contracts. Okay, so if you write 10, it means we are subscribing for around 40 contract for real-time data. So if you want more contract, like let's say you want to hedge far out of the money call and put, so you might have to change this variable. Then we have strike difference. Now this is an important parameter, because if it is Nifty, strike difference is 50. Okay, in Nifty option chain, if you see, the strike difference is 50 points. But if you go to Bank Nifty, see, if I click on Bank Nifty, the strike difference is 100 point. So this parameter will also change. If there is a strike difference of 100 point, you will change this to 100. And I have added a feature of paper trading in this code. So if you keep this account type as paper, so it will run it as a paper trading environment. If you change this to live, actual trade will be taken place in the live in your Fires account. Then we will start our strategy at 9:30. We will end our strategy at 15:10. And right now, Nifty quantity is 75. Okay. And we will be running this strategy on the nearest expiry. I'll come to that point again in few minutes. Then these are the three variables that I mentioned on my iPad. Remember, these are the three parameters. One is buy point, one is sell point, one is move. So let's say you want to implement this iron condor with a shorter profit zone. So you can change your buy point, sell point, and spot move. This you have the liberty to modify. So buy point means if I write 400, it means I want to sell 400 point out of the money call, 400 point out of the money put. I want to buy. Okay, these are the hedges. Sell point is 200 point I want to sell, 200 point both call and put I want to sell. Spot move 100 means I'll only do the adjustment when the spot moves by 100 point, either in the upward direction or in the downward direction. Okay, and these are all the libraries that I have imported. Major library is Fires model. That's it. Okay, now let me run the code and show you. I have installed like two packages. I have installed Pandas and Fires API version 3. I have not installed setup tool. I want to show you when to install this package. See, if I run the code, it will throw an error, I think. So it is throwing an error called PKG resources. So if you also see the same error, that is no module name PKG resources, then you have to install this package. So just copy this and paste it here. Now if I run the code will work, but I want to explain you what will happen if I run the code for the first time. See, if you scroll down, I have added this code. So this line 61 is important if you face any SSL related error. Okay, you can comment this line. This line is not needed. I have noticed that in some computers, it shows an error of SSL certificate. So if you see that error, then you need this code. Otherwise, you don't need this code. Then I have imported the logging library to create a log. Now what I have done, I have written a simple if-else condition here. The condition is if access.txt exists. Now when you run it for the first time, it will ask you to verify yourself. See, if I run it for the first time, it will take you to the browser. It will take you to the browser and it will ask you to verify yourself. Once you verify yourself, you will get a access token, or you can say you will get a auth code, and you have to use that auth code to generate a access token. See, I clicked on it. Now I have already verified myself. That's why it's taking me to this website. But in your case, it will ask you to write your phone number, write your TOTP code, write your 4-digit PIN. Now, everything I've already explained in a separate video, so I'm not discussing it in much detail in this video. Okay, so I'll just copy this and you have to come here and you have to paste it here. See, this is important. When you run it for the first time, it will take you to Fire's website. There you have to verify yourself. Once you verify yourself, you have to copy the link. Whatever the link you have to copy that link and you have to paste it here and you have to press enter. Now, the moment you press enter, you see suddenly so many files were created here. And the most important file is this access file. In access file, you have your access token. And this access token remains active for a single day. So that's why I've added a name. Along with access, I've also added the current day. So when you run it for the next day, you will see this access token will not be a valid access token. So you have to verify yourself again. Okay. I'll just repeat again what to do. See, I'll just delete all the files. So I don't have any file. If you don't have any file, this is what you will be doing when you are running it for the first time on any day. Okay. So you will delete all the file and then you will run the button. When you click on the run button, it will ask you to verify yourself. Once you verify yourself, you will copy the URL and you will paste it here. And the moment you press enter, it will create a file and the file name will be access and the current date.txt. And this access token, you don't have to delete for the entire day. Even if you delete it, you have to verify yourself again. If you don't delete it, you can use it for the entire day. See, if I press enter, it will create the access.txt file. Now the other files you can ignore. There are 3 important files which you need to be concerned about. The first is this access file, access token file. The second is your logging file. So this is Condor underscore the current date dot log file. In this log file, you'll see all the logging. If anything happens to your strategy, everything you will see in this log file, and you can ignore this other 3 log file. These are auto generated by Fire's library. I cannot do anything about this. Okay, and a new file will be created called Condor pickle file. Okay, and in that pickle file, we will be storing all the information. I'll come to this in few minutes. So let me just run the code and show you what happens now. Let me just quickly summarize what I've covered. First, I installed all the packages. First, I've installed Python. You have to install Python 3.12.8. Install all the packages. Understand the strategy. It's better if you know what you're doing. Change the credential, whatever your credential is. Don't use my credential. Then after changing the credential, you can change your parameter. Okay, which instrument you want, what should be your buy point, what should be your sell point, all those things you have to change. After changing, when you run this code for the first time, you have to verify yourself, get the access token, paste it on the terminal, press enter, it will create an access file. In that access file, we have saved the access token. Till here, everything is fine. Now, when you run it for the first time, you will also see a log file. And the log file name is Condor underscore 2025-01-20. That is today's date. So this file is like today is 20th of Jan. That's why we have that date. Okay. Now, if you continue to run, then you will see 2 more files. So you can see here I've already executed. So one file will be this .pickle file. This is like a database for your strategy. So even if you stop the strategy in between and if you run it again, it will continue from where it has left. But if you delete this pickle file, then your strategy will start from scratch. It will place Condor, then it will do the adjustment. If the file doesn't exist, but if the file exists, let's say you have already placed the Condor at 9:30 and for some reason you have stopped your code at 11 or 11:30 and you want to start it again and you want to continue from where you have left. If that is your requirement, then don't delete this pickle file. This pickle file has all of your information about the strategy, which will be again feed into your strategy once you rerun it. Okay. And one more file will be created called trade.csv file. In this file, you'll see whatever trade is being triggered by your strategy. Okay. So now before I explain you the code, I want to show you how the trades looks like when you execute it for an entire day. So this was the trade.csv file which I have received. So I started this strategy at 10. So I wanted to place an Condor at 10 and I closed everything at 15:10. So you see the first 4 rows, the time is same. So at 10 hour, 1 minute, I have placed the Condor. How I have placed? First, I am selling. So you can see first I am buying. You can see there are 2 buy. This was the price and this was the contract. So at that moment, this was 400 point out of the money call. This was 400 point out of the money put. What was the price? The price is 23,650, 23,850. So these are my hedges. The price is 31. Here price is 43. I have bought both of them. In this strategy, I don't have any stop price and take profit. So that's why both of them are 0. And this is the spot price. So spot price at 10-1 was 23,230. I've like the quantity is wrong here because the minimum quantity should be 75. So this you can ignore for now. This is what happened at 10. At 10-1, I have placed the iron condor. Now till 11-4, nothing happened. At 11-4, we have a movement in our spot price. Look at the initial spot price. That is at 10. What was the spot price? 23,230. And at 11, it has moved to 23,112. So it has moved down by 100 point, right? If you remember our strategy, when our spot price moves by 100 point, we do the adjustment. So this is what the adjustment looks like. So these 4 rows that you see, we have selected the 4 row. These 4 row represent adjustment, and you can see the time is same for all the 4 rows. So what I'm doing, first I am closing the call leg. So these two are closing the call leg. I'm closing the buy leg, closing the hedge, closing the sell leg. Then I'm opening a call leg, I'm opening a sell leg. Okay? So these 4 rows represents my first adjustment, and this first adjustment happened at 11:04. Till here everything was fine. Nothing happened for the next 1 hour. Then we moved to 12:07. Now at 12:07 something happened. There was a movement in our spot price by 100 point. Now it has moved by 100 point in the upward direction. See here it has moved from 23,230 to 23,112. Now it has moved back to 23,213. So it has moved up. Now what will we do if our spot price moves up by 100 point? We are going to close our put leg and we are going to open a new position in the put leg. So that's what we are doing here. We are closing our put leg. These 2 row represent closing our put leg. One is buy and one is sell. And these 2 are opening a new put leg. So we are booking the profit in put leg. Okay, whatever the profit is. Now what happened? Till 15:10, nothing happened. So at exactly 15:10, this is our ending condition that if the time reaches 15:10, we have to close everything. So exactly at 15:10, we have closed all of our 4 legs. Okay, and what is the price? The price of the spot price is 23,212. And these are the option contract prices. So this was like the buy leg. We started at 31 rupee and I closed it, I guess, here. Okay, from 31 it has moved to 25. So this leg has made some losses, but this other sell leg, if you look at call sell leg, here it was 81 and I've closed it here at 61. Sorry, call leg sell. This is 20,450, 20,450. Yeah. So you can see it has moved down from 81. It has moved to 61. So I've made some profit of, I don't know, 23 to 25 points. So what I suggest you initially when you're running it for the first few days, try to run it in paper trading environment. Look at all of your trade, analyze the trade, understand if it is making profit or not. If you're convinced, only then I want you to change it to live market. Otherwise, do not do it to the live market. Okay, this is just, this entire video is for educational purpose. Okay, I don't recommend or I don't suggest that this strategy will make money. I just wanted to show you how do you design a strategy. That's all. Okay, but in this code, you also have the feature of implementing it in the live market. Okay, but you have to take your own risk measure for that. Okay, I myself have not invested my money, so I don't recommend you to invest it. Okay. About backtesting this strategy, in this video, I'm not going to explain you the backtesting. I will make some other video where I'll explain how to backtest this strategy. For now, this is just a video on live implementation. So I hope you have understood how to use the file. Okay, I'll just quickly revise again. What will happen when you run it for the first time? It will create the access file and the log file. Access and log file, you don't have to delete for the entire day. When our entry condition is satisfied, what is our entry condition? Entry condition is entry time. So if you see here, I have made 2 variables called start hour and start minute, end hour and end minute. So it means my entry condition is 9:30. Exactly at 9:30, we are going to place an iron condor. And 1510 is my exit condition. Means at 1510, I don't care what the market price is. I will just close all of my position because this is an intraday strategy. Okay. So these two parameters also you can change. Let's say you want to place an iron condor at 10. So you will change this to from 9:32, you will change it to 10. Okay. Now exactly at 9:30 in this situation, it will create two more files. One will be the CSV file where you will see all the trades taken. So see, I executed this file today. So it created the CSV file and I have 4 trades here. So 2 call leg and 2 put leg, 2 hedges and 2 sell position. Okay. And it will also create a pickle file. Now, what is the benefit of pickle file? In pickle file is acting like a database right now. So any information related to your strategy, like which leg I have shorted, which leg I have longed, all this information, at what price I have done, everything is being saved in this pickle file. So if you delete this pickle file and if you run the strategy again, it will start from scratch. When I say scratch, it means it will place the iron condor and then it will do the adjustment. But if you don't delete it, if you rerun it in between the market hours, so it will continue from where it has left. Okay, so these are all the things you need to know before using the file. Now let's go inside the code. So I'm going to explain you the entire code line by line. So I want you to pay attention. So I'll just delete everything. Let's delete. Let's just keep. Okay, let's delete everything. It's fine. So you have to change the credential. You can change the strategy name. You can change the index name. These all things you know. Now we have imported the libraries, like we have imported the Fires library, we have imported Pandas library, web browser library, OS library and all. This is the log file. This code is responsible for creating a log file. Here we are checking if we have the access.txt file or not. If the file exists, we will read that file. If the file doesn't exist, we will execute this code. Now what is this code? This code is responsible for verifying ourselves. Now this entire code I have explained in my previous video. So I'll not go in much detail. I'll just say that this entire code is used to generate the auth code. You can see here we are generating the auth code. After generating the auth code, we are getting the access token. And that access token, I am saving it in a CSV file. Okay, so that is what this code is doing. Now, in case if something goes wrong in between, so I've added an exception that if some error comes in between, so we'll just print unable to get access token and I'll stop the program. Okay, so let's say your credential is wrong. If any of your credential is wrong here, so you will see this output in your output screen that unable to get access token and the strategy itself will not start. Okay, then I'm going to print the access token. Then we are creating the start time and end time object. So whatever the start time is, we are creating the start time. Whatever the end time is, we are creating the end time. We are creating the Fires model object. One is Fires and one is Fires async. Fires is used to create a normal API call and Fires async I will use to make asynchronous call. Okay. Then I'm getting the expiry. So to get the expiry, I'm fetching the option chain. In Fires API, if you go to the documentation, they have an option for fetching the option chain. Go to data API, go to option chain. So if you click on Python, this code I'm using here. Okay, so I'm just fetching the option chain. I'm specifying the ticker name, specifying the strike count. Now this is where you have to specify the strike count. Strike count means if you specify 10, it means it will give you 5 out of the money call and put, 5 in the money call and put. So total 40 contracts we have for which I'm going to fetch real-time data for. Okay, so this is how you fetch the option chain. Once you have the option chain, you can get the expiry. Whatever the current expiry is, I'm printing that current expiry. Okay, now from the option chain, I'm also getting list of all the tickers. So you see, I have made a variable called symbols where I have put list and call list. Put list represent list of all the put option contract. Call list represent all the call option contract. And here I am getting the current price of current spot price of that index, and I'm printing the current spot price. So all of this I'm getting from the option chain. Okay, so let's run this code for now. Let me show you how. Okay, I'll just remove everything. Okay, so this is what I have explained till now. Now let me just run the code and show you. First, it will verify. It will ask me to verify myself. So I'll just copy this URL. I'll paste it here. Enter. And you will see what is first what it is printing. It is first printing my access token. So this is my current access token. Even if I run it again, so even if I run it again, first it will show me the access token. This is my access token. Then it is showing me the start time. So my start time is 9:30. My end time is 15:10. My current expiry is 23/125. Now let's say you want to change the expiry. Okay. So if you go to your option chain, here you can select the expiry. So the nearest Nifty expiry is 23 Jan. And that is what I have selected here, 23 Jan. If you want to change this, you might have to change the code a little bit. You just have to change this to 1. If you change this to 1, it will give you the next to nearest expiry. Okay. After getting the expiry, I'm printing the current spot price. Current spot price is this. You can see right now. I'll just close this. Current Nifty price is 23,340, around 340. So around 340. And this is the list of all the tickers for which I want real-time data for. Okay. So first ticker is our index itself, and then we have call and put both. Now this list that we have created, I'm going to write a code for WebSocket, and in that WebSocket, I'm going to start real-time data for all the tickers. Okay. And for all the tickers, whatever data I'll get from the WebSocket, I'll save it in a variable called df. Okay, I've made a variable called df, and in that variable, I'm going to save real-time data that I'm getting from the WebSocket. So let's write that code now. So here I've made a variable called data frame, and in this we have all this column name. Now from where did I got this? I got this from the documentation. So if you go to Fire's API documentation, if you go to WebSocket, and if you click on market data symbol, these are all the data that you get real time when you subscribe for a ticker. And this is what I have used to name my column name. So that is name, LTP, CH and all. You can see name, LTP, CH, all those things. Okay. So I've created a data frame with all this column name. And in this data frame df variable, I'm going to save real-time data that I'll get from the WebSocket. Now let's start the WebSocket. So let me get the WebSocket code. So this is my WebSocket code. So I've created a variable called onMessage, a function called onMessage. This function will simply take the data from WebSocket and save it in a df variable. That's all this function is doing. Or you can say that's all this entire WebSocket is doing. Okay. If I run this code, you will see continuously it will start fetching the data. Now what the problem is? The problem is I want the real-time data, but along with getting the real-time data, I also want to check for my entry condition, for adjustment, all those things. So there are two things that I want to do. And in Python, if you don't use asynchronous programming, then you won't be able to do it. Okay. So now my task is to run two things at the same time. One is getting real-time data from WebSocket, another is running our strategy. So let's try to do that. So here I have written a simple code. I'll just copy this and I will paste it here. So I've created a function called main, and this main function will simply call this main strategy code function. And this is my main strategy code function. And inside this main strategy code function, we will write our actual strategy. Okay. And I'm calling async.io.run so that my main function and my WebSocket both will be running simultaneously. So I have explained this in much more detail in our live session. So you can go through the videos to understand it. I'll repeat. So I have two things. One is WebSocket. So this code will start the WebSocket, will keep fetching the real-time data, save it in a df variable. And this is my main strategy function, which will also run every second. So you can see this main strategy, I have written a while loop, and in while loop, I've added a sleep. So this sleep will allow my while loop to run every second. Okay. So just to show you if it is working or not, I'll just comment my code for explanation's sake. I'm commenting it, and I'll just write print df here. Print df. So what will happen? It will start the socket, and after every 1 second, it will, let's print the time also. What is the current time? Print CT. So after every second, it will print the current time and it will print the data frame. And you can see the data frame value will also be updated every second. Okay. So let's run the code and see. You can see this is how the data frame looks like. Initially, in my data frame, I have all my NaN values. But once I start the socket, it is starting the socket. Now I'm receiving real-time data. You can see this is LTP, this is CH, this is average, and this is being updated every second. You can see it is getting updated every second. Okay. So what I have done just now, I have actually written a code which will run my WebSocket and my main strategy code at the same time. Now let's go inside the main strategy code. Okay, so I'll just remove this. This is not needed. I don't want to print. Remember, when you should never use print function where it is not needed, because print function will take time. If your code takes some time, the price that you're fetching from the WebSocket will be delayed. So try to avoid using print function as much as possible. If needed, use it, but do not use it a lot. Okay. So I have written two code here. One is to get the current PNL. This code is needed in the live environment. If you're running this strategy in the live environment and you want to get keep a track of what is the current PNL, then this code is needed. Otherwise, this code is needed. Now, what is this code? This is a simple code that if my data frame, the data frame where I'm getting real-time data, my shape is not equal to 0, then run this code. And in this code, what I'm doing, I've written a simple condition that if my account type is paper, call the paper order function, else call the real order function. So I have created two functions, and these two functions are the most important function, and these are the only function that you have to change if you want to implement any other strategy. 80% of my code remains the same. Okay. If you want to implement any strategy, you just have to change these two functions. One is the paper order function, one is the real order function. Paper order function when your account type is paper trading, when you have activated paper trading, and real order will be executed when you move to the real trading. Real trading means the actual order will be placed. So let's create both the function. Okay. So I'll just I'll just copy this, both the function. See, I've pasted two function here, and I'll minimize both the function for now. And both the function are exactly same. The only difference is in real order function, whenever my buy condition or any condition is satisfied where I have to place a trade, I'm just writing the trade information in a CSV file. And in real order, I'm actually placing an order. That's the only difference between both the function. 90% of the code is same in both the function. Okay. Now, before I move to these two functions, there are a few more things that I want to show you. That is some extra code that I have written. Okay. Let's understand this extra code. So this code is related to strategy. So first, I've made a function called get OTM option. What this function will do, it will take the spot price, it will take the side as in it's a buy side or a sell side, and the point. Point means how far out of the money you want. Okay, if you write 100, it will give you 100 point out of the money call. So sorry, this side will be call or put. My bad. This side would either be call or it will be put. So if you write spot price, so here I have shown you an example, get OTM option, spot price, whatever the spot price is, call and sell point. Sell point is right now how much? 100. So see, if you go up, I've made a variable called sell point. So this is 200. Sell point is what? The leg that I want to sell. So it should be 200 point out of the money call. Right? So that's what we are doing here. First, I'm fetching my sell leg, and then I'm fetching the hedge leg. So see here, this is sell call option, sell put option. This is hedge call option, hedge put option. So if I run this code, you will see all the four options now. Okay, I'll run it and show you. Let me comment my code. Comment the entire code. I'm commenting the entire code. I'll show you the call hedge option. So see, these are the four option contracts that were shortlisted. So first two are my sell option, and the next two are my hedge option. Okay. After shortlisting the option, now these four option contract will remain permanent for the entire day. Whatever trades, sorry, they will not remain permanent. We will be changing the option contract also. Okay, these 4 contracts I will be using to place an iron condor. That's all. Okay. Then what I have done, I have created 2 functions. One is store function and one is load function. Store function will simply take the data, whatever data you have, and save it in a pickle file. And load function will simply look for the pickle file. If the pickle file is there, it will read the data from the pickle file. Okay. Basic function, I'll repeat. The store function will store the data into the pickle file. Load function will read the data from the pickle file. Then I created a function called take limit position. Now for this entire strategy, I'm not going to place any market order, because if I place a market order, then I will not get a best price. So I've made a function called get limit, take limit position. This function will take 4 arguments. First, the name of the ticker. Second, the action, like I want to buy or sell. Then quantity, what should be the quantity, and the last is limit price. What is the limit price? Then I wrote this code, which I have copied from Fire's API. So if you go to Fire's API, just click on order placement, single order. And if you click on Python, the exact same code I've copied and I've edited the code here. Okay, this code will simply place an order. That's it. It will take the name of the ticker. It will take whether you want to buy or sell, specify the quantity, specify the limit price, and this function will place an order for you, whether it is buy or sell. Okay. Then I have written a simple condition to check if my account type is paper or real. So if my account type is paper, first thing I'll do is I'll try to read the data from the database. Okay. And I'm storing this data in a variable called paper info. Now this paper info is probably the most important variable in the entire code. Why? Because in paper info, I'm going to store all my information about the strategy. Okay. Similarly, if my account type is not equal to paper, we will create a variable called live info. So there are 2 variables. One is paper info, which will be created if your account type is paper. One will be live info if you have if you want to implement this strategy in the live market. And both the variable data is same. Only the name changes, but the data remains the same. What is the data? First, we are creating a data frame called filled DF. In this filled DF, we will keep track of the trade. Like what is the time of the trade, what is the name of the ticker, what is the price of the ticker, what is the action, what is the stop price, what is the take profit, what is the spot price, what is the quantity. These are all the things that I will write into this filled data frame. And in paper info, I'll have this big dictionary. Okay. Now I want you to understand this dictionary because this is crucial for understanding how I've implemented the entire strategy. Okay. So in my paper info variable, now the dictionary is same for both paper info and live info. If you look at live info, the same dictionary exists. See, if I select this is exactly same as the dictionary that I have here. Both of them are same. The difference is this is for paper, this is for live. Okay, I will explain you for one and you will understand for both. We don't have to understand both the function individually. If you just understand a single thing, the other thing is the carbon copy of that. So what we have here in paper info, we have first 4 key value pair, which is call by, put by, call sell, put sell. So call by, put by represent the hedge, call sell, put sell represent the sell leg. And inside the dictionary, I have created one more dictionary, which has multiple key value pair. So first key value pair is the name. What is the option name? The second is flag. Then we have buy price. Then we have stop price. Then we have profit price. Then we have filled data frame. Then we have spot price. Then we have quantity. Then we have strike. These are the information that I want for each option contract. Like what's the name? What's the flag? Now I'll come to flag later. What is the buy price? What is the stop price? What is the profit price? What is the filled DF? What is the quantity? What is the strike? These are all the information that I'm going to store for all of my 4 legs. Then I made a key value pair called main flag. Then we have enter spot price, initial spot price, and filled data frame. Now, if you think about this strategy, you need 2 spot information. One is at what price you have entered and what is the current spot price. So that's why I've created 2 different key value pair. One is the enter spot price, because imagine you have placed an iron condor at 10 and at 10 Nifty was at 23,000. This 23,000 you should know if you want to do the adjustment, right? So that is why I have made 2 different key value pair. One is for the enter spot price and one is the initial. Let's say you are rerunning the code at 12 and at 12 the Nifty is at 23,300. So both of them are different. One is the enter spot price and one is the current spot price. Okay. So this is how I've created this paper info variable in which I'll store all the information. Now comes the last part of our code, that is paper order and real order function. Let me just minimize everything. Let me just quickly go through everything. So first we have all the packages needed, then the actual strategy, then the credential and the input. Then we have all the libraries. Then this code is needed if you see any SSL certificate. Then we are creating a log file. Then we are verifying, we are getting our access token. This is access token related code. Then we are specifying the start time and end time. We are creating the FIOS object. We are fetching the option chain. From option chain, I'm getting the list of all the symbol, the current expiry and the current spot price. I have made a variable called symbols in which I have stored all of my symbol name. I created a df variable in which I'm storing, in which I will be storing real-time data. I created a function called get OTM option, which will simply get you out of the money call or put option. I've just showed you some example of using the same function. I created a store function to store the data, load function to load the data. I created a function called take limit position, which will take the position in the actual market, not in the paper trading environment. The, if the account type is paper, I'm storing this information in paper info variable. And if account type is live, we will store this data in the live info variable. So if the account type is paper, paper order function will be executed. If my account type is live, real order will be executed. Where have I written this code? This code is written in the main strategy code function. If you go to main strategy code function, I've written two conditions, that if my account type is paper, call the paper order function, else call the real order function. And both of this function will be running every second. This information is important. Real order or paper order, any one of the function will be running every second, one side, and on the other side, continuously real-time data is being stored in the df variable. So the first variable I need in my paper order or the real order function is the df. Without df, this function will not work. So let's go to my paper order function. You can see the other variables are optional, but this df is quite important because in df, I have real-time data and I'm accessing that real-time data inside this paper order function. Okay. Then I'm getting the current price from the df. Whatever the current spot price is, that price I'm saving it in a variable spot price, and I'm getting the current time, whatever the current time is. Then I have the first condition, that is if my current time is greater than the start time. So let's say you run your strategy at 8 or 8:30 and your start time is 10. So you don't want your strategy to place an iron condor till you reach 10, right? So that's why I've written a condition that if my current time is greater than start time, only then do something. Otherwise, don't do anything. Just print the current price. Current price as in the spot price. Okay. If my current time is greater than start time, that is we have breached our start time. Now our current time is greater than 10. If that is the case, then run this code. Okay. So this is where I will explain you the entire code. So this is like the main part. I have multiple condition. Okay. So first step is getting all the information from your info variable. Remember, we have this paper info variable. In this, I'm going to store any information which I think is important. So before I do anything, I need to see if I already have some information and I need to load that information. So that's what I'm doing here. First, I'm getting all the option name, all the 4 option contract that we have the name. What is the flag? I'll come to this flag, but what is the flag of those 4 option contract? What is the buy price? What is the buy price? At what price I have bought the stock? It would either be 0 if I have not taken any trade. It would be some value if I have taken any trade. What is the current price? Now to get the current price, I'm using the df variable. Df is a data frame where I'm getting real-time data from the WebSocket. Then we have a main flag. Now this main flag is quite important. Okay, this main flag tells me what is the state of my strategy. Okay, and I'm also saving the enter spot price. At what price I've entered. All this information, I'm reading it from the pickle file if it exists. Okay, if my data exists in the pickle file, I'll read it. Otherwise, I'll initiate everything from 0. Okay. Then we have some condition. The first condition is if my current time is greater than end time. Second condition is if my main flag is equal to 0. Third condition is if my main flag is equal to 1. Fourth condition is if my main flag is equal to 2. And the last condition is if my main flag is equal to 3. And then I've written a simple code that if my data frame is not empty, I'll write this data into the CSV file. So this is where I'm storing the data into the CSV file, not the pickle file. At this line 628, I'm storing the data into the pickle file. So every second, once I go through my entire code, two things I'm doing. One is I'm updating my CSV file, and second is I'm updating my database. When I say database, I mean to say pickle file. Now see, it's not like you can not use other databases too. You can use MySQL, MongoDB, those also you can use. Just for the simplicity sake, I'm using the pickle file because I don't want to store a lot of data. If I had a requirement of storing a lot of data, in that case, I would have looked into the other database. For a basic strategy like this, I personally don't think that is required, but of course you can still use it. Okay. So writing your current trade information into the CSV file and storing your data into the pickle file is being done every second. Okay. Now let's understand the main flag. You see, in all of my condition, I have a main flag. So what is this main flag? So my main flag represents the state of my strategy. Remember, we have different states in our strategy. Let me just quickly revise. See, there are state. One is state one. What is state one? State one, you can say we don't have any position, no position. Okay. State two is we are placing iron condor. Place iron condor. State three is we have done some adjustment once. Adjustment, you have done adjustment once, first time. Okay. Then we have state four where we have done adjustment second time. Adjustment second time. Right. Now, when you do adjustment for the second time, if you remember, see, this is the first iron condor. This is the first adjustment. In the first adjustment, we still have the iron condor. In the second adjustment, we have converted our iron condor to iron butterfly. Right. So this is my second adjustment. And we have last state, that is state four, if there is extreme movement. Okay. Then also we will close everything. So these are few states. And I'm using this main flag to keep track of in which state I am in. If my main flag is equal to 0, right? If my main flag is equal to 0, it means I have not taken any trade yet. So this is my first condition if my main flag is equal to 0. And I have another condition which is more important than main flag, that is, have I reached the end time or not? If I have reached my end time, then I have to close everything. And this is the first condition I will check. If I have not reached the end time, then I'll check my second condition, that is my flag equal to 0? If my flag equal to 0, what it means? It means I have not taken any trade. So what to do if you have not taken any trade? Let's see. So if you have not taken any trade, you have to place an iron condor. And how to place an iron condor? You just call this get OTM option function, get the nearest out of the money call, out of the money put, both all the 4 legs, and place an order. That's what you have to do. And you have to update the information. Now you see most of the code in this is updating. See, here I'm updating the call by name. Here I'm updating the put by name. Here I'm updating the buy price. Here I'm updating the fill data frame. So that's all I'm doing. Okay. So first I'm going to buy the hedge. So this code is for buy call hedge. This code is to buy put hedge. Get the current price. What is the current price of the call and the put? And save it in your paper info variable. And then write it into the CSV file. Write it into the filled data frame. This is for call. This is for put. And then sleep for 1 second. Now this sleep and all you can remove if you want. I don't think it is needed. I just added it to show you, but it's better if you remove all the sleep in from your code. Okay, I'll repeat. If you're planning to use this code in live environment, it's better to remove all the sleep. Then we have cell leg. Okay, so I'm getting the cell name. I'm getting the call cell name. Then I'm getting the put cell name. I'm getting the call current price, put current price from the df variable. I'm updating the information in the paper info variable. I'm writing it into the data frame, like whatever the trade information like sell name, sell price, sell stop price, and take profit is 0. What is my spot price quantity? Everything I'm writing into the filled df variable. So filled df is a data frame where I keep track of all of my trades. Okay, and I'm doing this for call. This I'm doing it for put, and at the end I'm just logging the information. I'm updating my paper info variable. See here, there is a paper info dot update function, which will update all of the parameter in my paper info variable, and we will just log that done placing iron condor. So this is what we do when my main flag is equal to 1. Main flag equal to 1 means we are placing an iron condor. Now, once you have placed an iron condor, we change our flag to 1. Okay. So if you see what I have done, I have changed my main flag to 1. See here, I have changed my main flag to 1. When to change your main flag to 1? When you place an iron condor. So my state 1 is complete. Now I move to state 2. Okay. In my state 2, I check. So if I'm on state 2, so when my flag is equal to 0, it means I'm on stage 0. When my flag is equal to 1, it means I'm on state 2. Sorry, state 1. And what is my state 1? Now I have to continuously look if I should do adjustment or not. That's what I have to do. So I have two conditions. Inside here, I have two conditions. First condition is if the market has moved up by some point, or second condition, it has moved down by some point. You can see the condition is spot price is less than enter spot price minus spot move. What is a spot move? If you remember, the spot move is 100. So I am saying, has the market moved by 100 points above? So this is the above. If the market moves by 100 point in the above direction, and this I'm checking if the market price has moved below. What to do if the market has moved by 100 point? We have to do the adjustment, right? My bad, this is for below. Okay, this means this condition is that if the market moves by 100 point in the downward direction. If that is the case, we have to close the call leg. We have to close the both the call leg. So that's what I'm doing. Close the call leg. You can see the comment. I'm closing the call leg. I'm closing the hedge. First, I'm closing the sell leg. Then I'm closing the hedge leg. Then what I'm doing, I'm opening a new call position. First, I will place the hedge. Then I will place for the sell leg. So that's what I'm doing. First, I'll repeat. First, I'm closing my call leg. Then I'm opening the new call leg. And in this code, I'm not doing major thing. I'm only updating my paper info variable. Most of the code is just updating my database. See here, notice how many paper info we have. In majorly all of my code, I'm just updating the data frame so that I should know what state I am in right now. Okay, and then at the end I change my flag to 2. Okay, I'll repeat. When my flag is equal to 1, I check if the spot price has moved down. If it has moved down by 100 point, I'll close both of my sell leg and I open new sell leg. And I update my main flag equal to 2. Now, if the market moves up by 100 point, I do the same for put leg. I close both the put leg. I open the new 2 put leg. And then I update my flag to 2. So any one will be executed depending on where the market has moved. If it has moved up by 100 point, close the put leg. If it has moved down by 100 point, close the call leg. Now we have moved to the next stage, that is my flag is equal to 2. Now I have to look for the next adjustment. Now remember, in this stage, I'm going to convert my iron condor to iron butterfly. And this is my last adjustment, by the way, right? So again, I have two conditions. Has my spot price moved down by 100 point or it has moved up by 100 point? If it has moved down by 100 point, again, we have to do the same thing. That is, we have to close our call leg and we have to open a new call position and update the flag to 3. Okay, I have updated the flag to 3. And if the spot price has moved up by 100 point, I will close my put leg. I will open a new put position. And at the end, I will change the flag to 3. Now, when my flag is 3, it means I am on stage 3, state 3. Okay. Now, what to do if I am in state 3? Now, I have this last condition that if the market has moved 3 times of the spot move is 100. If there is a 300 point move in either upward or downward direction, I don't care about anything. I'll just close all of my position. This is my last stage. That is stage 3. So first we have stage 0, stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. In stage 3, what I do, I close everything. So I check for my call flag. Now, each of my leg has a unique flag. See here, if you look at paper info, each of my leg has a flag. You can see this flag. So this flag also represents the state of that leg. If this flag is 0, see there are two flags. One is this flag for each leg and one is the main flag. Main flag represents the state of my strategy, and this individual flag represents the state of that leg. If this flag is equal to 0, it means that I have not taken any position in that leg. If this flag is 1, it means I have taken position in that leg. That's what this flag represent. So before closing, if I am about to close anything, I need to know if I already have a position for that leg or not. And how do I check this? I check that by using call flag, by checking if my call flag is equal to 1 or not. If my flag is equal to 1, it means I already have taken the position and now I have to close the position. So this is the code to close the position. Now remember, I'm not placing any live order here. This is just writing the information into the CSV file and logging the information. I'm doing it for all the 4 leg. This is for call buy leg. This is for put buy leg. This is for call sell leg. This is for put sell leg. What I'm doing, my last state is if my current flag, if my main flag is 3 and if the spot moves 3 times up or 3 times down, we have to close everything. When I say close everything, before closing, I have to check what is my current flag. If my flag is 1, then I'll close it. Otherwise, I'll not do anything with that leg. Okay, this call by flag, put by flag, this represents the state of that leg. Okay, this is my last state. And then what I'm doing, I'm simply updating my data frame and storing the data into the pickle file. Now I have one more condition. Remember the first condition, that is if my current time is greater than end time. Let's say your strategy is still in some state and your end time has reached. What to do when your end time has reached? You do the same thing, that is close everything. If your flag is equal to 1, close your call flag, call buy flag. If your put buy flag is equal to 1, close your put buy flag. If your call sell leg is equal to 1, close the call sell leg, and similarly do for put sell leg. Now after closing, make sure you change the flag. See, initially call sell flag was 1. After closing, I changed the flag to 5. So this leg level flag, if it is 0, it means I have not taken any position. If it is 1, it means I have taken the position. If it is some other number, it means we don't have to look at that leg at all. So you can write any number. I have given some random number like 5. This I'll repeat one more time. It's better if I write it on my iPad. This is important. So what I've done, I have 2 flag. One is main flag. So main flag has multiple value: 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And we have leg level flag. So each 4 leg have a flag. And this flag can be 0, can be 1, or can be some any number. Okay. If it is 0, it means no position. You have not taken any position in that leg. If it is 1, it means you have taken the position. And if it is something other than 0 and 1, you have to ignore. This means you don't have to do anything with that leg. And what does this state mean? This 0 state means no position. This is take iron condor, first adjustment, and this is second adjustment. So each flag represent a state. And that's it. That's it for the paper info variable. Now what I have done, I have copied the same exact function. Okay, I've copied it, I've pasted it, I've changed the name to real order, and I've changed the variable name. So there we were using paper info variable. Here I'm using live info variable. And wherever I'm placing an order, I'm calling this function. Remember this function I've created, that is take limit position. This function I'm calling in real order function. This function is not called in paper order function. This function is called in real order code. Okay, you can see if I scroll down, everything is same. If my current time is greater than end time, if my flag is equal to 1, I'm calling this function. Okay, so to close the position, I'm calling the exit position function. So in fires, if you go to the documentation, there is a function to close the position. Other transaction exit position. So this is the code I'm using. Fires.exit position. So you just specify the ticker name and it will close the position for that ticker. So if my flag is equal to 1 and if my current time is greater than end time, I'll close the call by leg. The same thing I'm doing it for other legs. So this is call by leg. This is call by leg. This is put by leg. This is call sell leg. This is put sell leg. So I'll close all of my leg if my current time is greater than end time. Then I have the second condition, that is if my main flag is 0. If my main flag is 0, what I'll do? I'll place iron condor. So when I say place iron condor, so you see I'm calling this function which I'm not calling in my paper info variable, that is take limit position. So what this function will do, it will simply take a limit, it will place a limit order into your account. Okay, this is for hedge. These two function call is for hedge. If you scroll down, these two function are for selling the sell leg. So these two function are to place hedges, and these two function call are to place the orders, like the sell order. So this is my flag 0. When my flag is equal to 1, I have to check for two condition. Has my market moved down or has my market moved up? Right? If my market has moved down, so I'm going to first, you can see I'm calling a exit position. I'm going to close my call leg. Uh, I'm going to close my hedge call leg. I'm going to close my put hedge leg, and I'm going to open two more legs. Right? So see, I'm taking two more position. One is buy and one is sell. So always first buy and then sell. Otherwise, you won't get margin benefit. Then last condition, second last condition, that is the second adjustment. If my spot price has again moved, okay, this I have already covered. So if my main flag is equal to 2, what to do? We have to check what is the current, where the price has moved. Has it moved up by 100 point, or it has moved by 100 points? So this is where I'll change it to iron condor. Sorry, this is where I'll change it to iron butterfly. So here I'll reduce. So see, in flag 0, I place the iron condor. In flag 1, I reduce the range, profitable range. In flag 2, I change it to iron butterfly. And in flag 3, I check. In flag 3, I check if there is a 300 point move in my instrument or not. If there's a 300 point move, then we will close everything. So this last condition checks for the extreme move. And if there is an extreme move, we will one by one close all the 4 legs. First, I'll close the sell leg, then I'll close the buy leg. And at the end, we will keep updating our data frame, and we'll keep storing the data into our pickle file. So for pickle file, for live, a separate pickle file will be created. For paper trading, a separate pickle file will be created. Also remember, do not change your strategy from live to paper in between the market. If you want to do this, you will delete all the files. Okay, this step is important. If you want, let's say till 10, till 11, you were doing paper trading. Now you want to do it on the live market. So remember, when you say live market, it will not continue where paper trading has left. So it will again start from scratch. So delete all the files, change this parameter. So this parameter you have to change for live, just write here live, and it will start from scratch in the live market. Okay, so before doing this, make sure you don't have any file here except for the access file. Make sure all the other files are deleted. So when you change it to live, it will create a pickle file for live environment. It will create orders. It will create a CSV file for the live trade, and the log file. Log file I think remains the same for both. You can even delete the log file if you want to go from paper trading to live trade. Okay. Now one last thing, that is we are placing a limit order, and it might happen that your limit order might not get filled. Right. So what I have done, I have made a function called chase order. So I've made a function called chase order. So what chase order will do, it will simply chase your limit order. What do I mean by that? So you can see I've made a function called chase order. It will first take the current order book. We will fetch the order book and we will feed it in this. It will go through all the orders and it will check for all the limit orders. So if you have a current limit order and if the status is 6. Now what is status 6? So you have to go to documentation, go to appendix. If you scroll down, you'll find the order. See, if my order type is 1, it means it's a limit order. So I'm going to shortlist all the limit order and my status should be equal to 6. Status 6 means pending. Pending state means that your order is not filled yet. It is waiting for the price to reach at that price. It is waiting for the current price to reach at your limit price so that the order can be filled. So it is waiting for that. So we will take all the orders and I will chase it. I will chase my limit order to the current price. Let's say the current price is 100 and the limit price you have placed is 98. Okay. Now there is a gap of 2 points. So your limit order will not get filled. What I'll do, after every 5 seconds, I'll keep changing my limit order by 10 cent. So from 98, it will move to 98.1, 98.2, 98.3, and this will happen every 5 seconds. This will keep going on till the till the limit price reaches the current price. And the moment the limit price reaches the current price, that is when my order will get filled. So this is a technique I'm using to get the fill as fast as possible. If you don't want this, if you want the fill, like the moment you place the order, if you want the fill, you have to place a market order. Okay. But when you place a market order, you will not get the best price. So that is what I'm doing here. So this function will go through all of your order and it will check if my order type is 1. 1 means it's a limit order. I'll get all the information like what is the current symbol, what is the ID, what is the limit price. If the current price is greater than the limit price, I'll increase it by 10 cent. If the current price is less than, I'll decrease it by 10 cent and I will modify the order. So here basically I'm modifying the order by 10 cent moving towards the current price. So this where I'm calling, if you go to my main function, I've written a code which runs every 5 seconds. So this code runs every second, this code runs every 5 seconds. So after every 5 seconds, I am fetching the order book. After fetching the order book, I'm calling the chase order function. So every 5 seconds, we will be fetching the order book from our broker and we will keep calling this chase order function. What chase order will do? It will simply chase your limit order towards your current price of that instrument. Okay. And one more thing I'm doing, I'm fetching the current position and I'm printing the PNL. So I've commented this code. If you want to keep track of what is your current PNL, you can just uncomment this. You'll come to know what is the current PNL of your strategy. And I think I've explained you everything. Okay. So let's run the code and see how it looks. So I'll just delete everything. So you will be having a single iron condor file. Make sure first you deal with the environment. Now, when you run it for the first time, it will ask you to verify yourself. So I'll verify myself. Once I verify, I have to copy paste this link here. Wait, I think I copied it wrong. Let's run it again. Now see, in my case, it is taking me to FesserPro website. In your case, it will take you to your redirect URI, and on that URL, you have to verify yourself and then copy the URL. Don't directly copy the URL, otherwise it will not work. So it has created. Now it is fetching all the basic information. It has shortlisted all the 4 strikes. Now you see, I am already greater than the current time, right? The current time is like start time is 9:30. We have already reached the start time. So it will place the iron condor. So it created a file called trades underscore iron condor and it has placed the iron condor. But the problem is it has placed it now. You can see the time is 12:56. And these are the 4 legs. 2 are buy leg, 2 are sell leg. And this is the current spot price. And the quantity is 75. Now it will wait for the adjustment. The moment the adjustment condition is satisfied, what will be the adjustment condition? If this 350 either goes to below 250 or 450, whenever that happens, that is when the adjustment will happen. Okay. So yeah, this is how you design an entire iron condor strategy from start to end. If you want to keep it to paper trading, just don't change the code. If you want to do it for the live, you have to change this to live. In live, the only difference will be it will place a real order. In paper, it will not place any real order. It will just write it into the CSV file. And this entire code is for educational purpose. I have not implemented in the live market. So if something goes wrong in the live market, you are responsible and you have to debug the code. Okay, thank you. So I've done small edits in the code. What I have done, I have just I've just installed this pendulum library. Now, why I've done this? Because I wanted to shift the entire code on Google Colab. Okay. And the problem in Google Colab is when you run the code in Google Colab, if you import the date time library will detect UTC time. Okay. And I wanted my code to run in Indian time zone. So that is the reason I imported the pendulum library. So pendulum library, the feature of pendulum library is it allows you to work with different time zone quite easily. You can do the same by using datetime package also, but using pendulum library is quite easy. Okay, so what I have done, I have taken the entire code and I have shifted it to Google Colab. Now you can run the strategy on Google Colab itself, you don't have to worry about environments and all. So you will get this entire code once you comment on this video. So once you go to this link, once you have access to this link, first step will be installing the package. So two package needs to be installed. Now the difference between Google Colab and your local computer is once you run, like once you install a package in Google Colab, it will go away the next day. You have to install it again. The Pandas, so all the other packages you see uh, like Pandas package, Async.io, all of them are pre-installed. So you don't have to worry about the other packages. But these two packages, they are not pre-installed in Google Colab. So you have to install them first. And you have to do this every time you execute the Google Colab file. Then I have added this extra code. This code is only required for Jupyter Notebook. Now remember I told you that we are using asynchronous programming where we are running two things at the same time. So in Jupyter Notebook, that is not possible. If you want to make it possible, you have to add this extra piece of code. This allows the Jupyter Notebook to execute asynchronous code. Okay, if you try to run the same code without this line of code, you won't be able to do it. Even on the local computer, if you make a Jupyter file and if you run the same code, you'll see it will throw an error. So this code is required to execute asynchronous code in your Jupyter Notebook. Then I have added all the parameters. So if you want to change, this is where you have to change the client ID and secret key, write your own client ID secret key. If you want to change the instrument name, you have to change it here. Make sure if you change this to Bank Nifty, change the strike difference to 100. Otherwise it will throw an error. This is the current time zone of this Jupyter file, that is Asia Kolkata. This is my start time, this is my end time, this is the quantity, and these are the other three parameters. Then I have imported all the packages. Okay. And here I have added the actual code. So this is the entire code that I have discussed. Now I have to scroll a lot. So in Jupyter file, in Google Colab, we have an option to hide. So when you will click on this link for the first time, you will see the option for show code. You can directly run the code. No need to maximize the block. Now, once you are done running the strategy, you want to take a look at all the trade. I have given you another piece of code. So what this code will do, it will read the CSV file. By the way the code was creating a file locally, on Google Colab also it will create a file. You can see we have the access file where we store the access token. We have the pickle file where we are storing all the data information. We have this trade iron condor.csv file where we have uh, stored all the trade information. So all the files are created here. Now when you go to the next day, if you run the same file again, all the files will be gone. So this is like a temporary thing. We don't have a persistent memory in Google Colab. And that is one of the biggest drawback of Google Colab. Even if you go for a pro version, I don't think they have a persistent memory. Okay. So see, today I executed this entire strategy and these are all the trades that I've got. You can see first four trades are placing the iron condor. So we have two buy leg, we have two sell leg, and then we have changed the call position. So I have closed the two call position first and I've opened the two new call. Why? Because the market has moved downward. It started with 23,260 and it has moved to 162. So market has moved down. So that's why I have changed my call leg. Then from 162, it has moved to 405. So market has moved up. So what I have to do, I have to change my put leg. So now after changing the put leg, we have moved from iron condor to iron butterfly. And then at the end, right now, what is the current price? The current price is 23,015 and we have reached the end time. So we have closed the position. So you can see individually if you have made the profit or not by looking at the price, but this is how the trade information will look like. So if you want to see this, you just have to run this cell. So if you want to clear all the cell output, you can just click on go to edit, click on clear all cell output. This is how the code will look like. First, you will install this you have to do every day. Then you can, if you want to restart the entire code, you can click on restart session. Are you sure runtime? Yes, start the session. So first you will run this code, then you will run this code, then you will run this code. Now this is the main strategy code. If you run it, it will start and it will keep running every second, fetch the data from the server in the data socket. If you want to read your CSV file, you have to run this. Now remember, if you have the CSV file only, then this code will work. See, I have the CSV file, so that's why it is working. Otherwise, this code will not work. You can see I'm getting all the trade information. So do test the code. There can be some bugs. I want you to write the bug in the chat room so that I can update the code.